Hello, it's Crafty Carol here with yet another little Christmas project. Not part of my countdown because I've got too many projects for my 12 weeks countdown. What the heck, it's just a little extra one. And these are just little decorations for the tree. So, can't hang them up, you can't see it on the, on the video. But I did that one with green and red. I'll talk about that in a minute, but this one is all red. So, as you can see, quite a lot of dimension in it to hang on the tree. Just really pretty, and they are so easy to make, so I thought I'd show you how. Nice little decorations. So I'm using for them these what are they called? Can't remember now. Stitch stars dies, yes, because they've got a little stitched edge to them, and you've got loads and loads and loads of different sizes that all fit inside one another. So what I did was I've cut the big stars. Here's the ones I've got ready to put together now, just in an evening evergreen. Ooh, dropping them. So this is the set of these three big stars, not the very tiny one in the middle, just the three outer ones. So it's these bigger ones that I've used for the cardstock, and I've cut two sets of those. And then I've used these three for the DSP, and again I've cut two sets of these, so all three of those dies. And they will cut out of, for the cardstock, they will cut out of a piece that's 10.5 by an A4 length, and you can get all 6 stars out of that. And for the DSP, similar, you can do that 9 centimetres by the 12 inches paper. That's a mix of centimetres and inches, isn't it? But you know what I mean, the length of a 12 paper. The paper I've used for these stars is the Santa Express DSP. Oh, dropping stars, there we go. So here's my ones I've cut out of the DSP, as you can see. And this is the reverse of the pinecone paper. The red was the reverse of a Santa and Mrs. Claus paper. But you can find whatever. Now, I did say I'd just mention on this one I've done here, you can see the difference between those. The paper I've used, the colour is Poppy Parade, but there's not that much pattern on it. And I did this one against Poppy Parade cardstock, and I just didn't feel it gave enough contrast. So I've done this one with exactly the same DSP, the Poppy Parade from the Christmas Santa Express paper, but I've used real red with it. I did try Cherry Cobbler, but that was a little bit too reddy purple. But I think the real red just gives a better contrast than using the Poppy Parade, but totally up to you. The pattern on the Evening Evergreen is strong enough that it doesn't matter, it fits very well. Anyway, or perhaps, I don't know, perhaps the paper's not Evening Evergreen, perhaps it's Garden Green. Anyway, whatever. Choose your DSP to match whatever cardstock you want. The only other thing you need is a length of trim. This is one of the elegant trims. It comes as a pack. That's my pack. With the gold and the silver. I think it is still current, but I use it a lot. So about 22 centimetres of that, 6 inches-ish, something like that. And the only other decoration I've put on is a couple of gems. I've actually used the champagne rhinestones because they happened to be on my desk at the time, but they actually fit quite well, so I'm happy with that. So let me show you how to put it together. And the key is to get the first 2 big stars back to back right, enclosing the trim. So when you cut these out, you'll see you've got a front bit which shows the stitches nicely, and then you've got a back piece, and you're going to stick the trim to one of the star points using the back piece. So I've got a bit here I'm using the red tape, the really strong red tape, because I think we'll find it fits better. So you want to press that down nice and firmly over the star, and then use your pokey tool just to remove that bit, and then have fun trying to flick it into the bin. What is it with that tape? The coverings on that tape never want to come off your hands. Anyway, then I'm going to stick on my trim, probably about 1 centimetre or so down. I want it to hold well, coming up right by the tip there. So you want to get your tape close up to the tip. Make the loop come down with the other end, and we'll put that there as well. And then I'm going to use more tape. Again, I've just cut some pieces the right sort of size to cover that. Make sure it's pressed down really well. take that bit off. And I'm just going to put another piece as well across the bottom of it just to make sure it's holding. There we go. So that is really solid. I think I've got all the red bits off me. And then I'm going to use a good bit of Tombow to make sure that is holding all the way around. Put that up the other stars, the other points of my little stars. And you could make these out of anything. You can make them out of gold foil or whatever. So make sure you got it the right way around. We want the stitches facing this way now. So it's back piece to back piece. And then I usually put the bottom ones on first because it's Tombow. I've got wiggle room. And then I can press down at the top, making sure that my hanger is coming out where I want it to at the tip. So there we have the base for my star decoration. So just going to squeeze that and make sure it's really firmly stuck. Yep, that's nice. So now we're going to build up the layers, and we simply build them up just in the way they fit together. So it's card, pattern, card, pattern, card. I do use a fair number of dimensionals, and I'm using a mix of the ordinary dimensionals and the mini dimensionals because you'll see how useful they are. So I'll show you with the first one. So we have one in the center because there's quite a big bulk in the center, as you can see, and we want to make sure those are sitting out well. And then I'm going to put one on each arm, if you like, of the star. I can use all big ones for this because we're on still a large piece. So there we go. And then take the toppings all off. This is the bit that takes the time of doing this decoration. The die cutting doesn't take long, but fiddling around with all dimensionals is the bit that does. It's not particularly directional, this paper, but if it is, just be careful you've got your direction in the right way. And then lay that on top and just press it down onto the dimensionals. And that's our first layer. And we're going to continue with those all the way up. So the next one is a card layer. So again, dimensional in the middle. And this time I'm going to use the smaller ones around the edge. And I'm going to speed up this next bit of film because it's boring watching me put the dimensionals on. But leave it running so you can see exactly how the layers build up. Then when we get to the last two layers, you really only need a dimensional in the middle for the cardstock. So I shall put that one on as my smallest cardstock one. And then finally, my little tiny final DSP star can go on just simply with a small dimensional in the middle. And those are, get that pointing the right way. Not that it matters too much, it's not really a directional pattern, but I quite like that. So that is the first layer, as you can see. So if I turn it, you can see the layers. They all sit nice and beautifully. And I'll finish it off by putting a gem on, but I do that at the end. So the next stage is to turn it over and build the layers up again from this side. So again, I'm going to really rush through the video so that you don't have to watch me doing things like that and picking up these stupid little dimensional covers, which I seem to have got stuck everywhere. So I'll rush through that and I'll see you again at the end. And so here we have the final star on this side. So now I've got two sides. If I hold it sideways, you can see all the layers on those, and that will hang beautifully from the tree. So the final thing is just to put a little gem on the middle. I thought of putting something else there, but to be absolutely honest, I don't think it needs it. That's the wrong size. Let me use the big one. There we go. I think just the gem in the middle just adds to it. So there we have yet another little Christmas tree decoration. So I've now got 3, one that's got 2 sides, one that's all red, one that's all green. So have a little play yourself, mix up the colours you've got, use different DSPs. You could make them in all sorts of different colours, but I went for traditional Christmas green and red because well, that's what I want for my Christmas tree. So hopefully that's, yeah, more in short, that's good. So I will see you again next week for our final week 12, well, later this week actually, week 12, which is going to be Christmas crackers and a cracker box. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, and if you want more instructions, you can find the blog post linked to this video in my blog on my website, craftycarolscards.co.uk. Thank you for listening today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.